Back to the daily grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
UFC President Dana White's coming out and confirming that Conor McGregor tried to fight Frankie Edgar on short notice, but he said nothing about it made sense. And now Max Holloway's also responded to this. I'll get into his response because when you think about what Dana White's saying, Max Holloway's response is pretty on point. So Conor McGregor, according to his team and his, Conor McGregor said it, Artem Lobov came out and said it. They said that they were about to fight Frankie Edgar on short notice. I believe his coach might have said it as well. Conor said, hey, I'll fight Frankie. Artem Lobov said we were about to pack our bags. We got the word Conor might be fighting Frankie, UFC 222. We were starting to pack our bags, and then we got the word that it's not happening. Now Dana White's coming out and confirming it because Frankie Edgar and his team came out and said these rumors were not true. He said, we were never mentioned anything about a Conor McGregor fight. Conor's full of shit. He had the opportunity to fight Frankie Edgar years ago and he didn't want to fight Frankie. So why would he fight him now on short notice, you know, on 2 weeks notice? So they were kind of saying they didn't believe Conor was going to fight Frankie on short notice. Now Dana White came out and confirmed it. But Dana White saying nothing about it made sense. And this is where Max Holloway's response comes in. But first, this is what Dana White had to say. It's true. He did say I'll fight with Frankie Edgar, but he's not in that weight division. We had already made the fight with Brian Ortega. The fight was already made between Ortega and Frankie when Conor said I'll take the fight. When he said he would take it, there was something like 24 days until the fight. Nothing about it made sense. So, you know, once the fight's already made between Ortega and Frankie, the UFC can't then come out and say, okay, Conor, you know, you agree, you should have spoke before we made the, as soon as Max Holloway got injured, that's when you got to come in and say, all right, I'll fight Frankie, put me in, coach, put me in, Dana. I've always wanted to fight Frankie. I want to clear out the division. Let me get in there. You can't wait until Brian Ortega gets scheduled. That's like Conor McGregor coming out right now and saying, hey, actually, I want to defend my belt versus Tony Ferguson at UFC 223. It's too late. Khabib's already got the contract. You can't pull Khabib now just because Conor wants to jump in because he feels like, you know, on the spur of the moment type thing. Brian Ortega was already scheduled. Now, we don't know if Conor knew Brian Ortega was scheduled, but you get the point, man. So, also, he said that, you know, he only had 24 days and he's not in that weight class. Conor hasn't fought at 145 pounds forever. I mean, when he fought Floyd Mayweather, it was up at like 154, and Floyd Mayweather could have fought smaller, but that's, you know, Conor fights at 155 in the UFC. He used to fight at 145. Joe Rogan, Dana White, a lot of people have talked about how skinny he had to get. You remember how Conor used to look, you know, dehydrated, just, you remember the fucking super skinny Conor, you know, and shit like that. They said it didn't look healthy. So Conor hasn't fought at 145 in a while. I don't know what he's walking around at right now, but it's probably not 150. You know, so for Conor to be able to cut all the way back down to that division in 24 days notice when there's a fight that's already made, of course the UFC, why would they even mention it to Frankie? You know, like, it's not happening. We've already got the fight booked. There's no reason to get this kind of shit going. But, you know, at the same time, this is where Max Holloway's response comes in. Max Holloway said, man, that Conor can't say that he'll come out and fight after, you know, what we were just saying, after it's already booked. That's like me saying, okay, I'll stay on the card, I'll cut off one of my legs and get it amputated and fight Demetrius Johnson for the 115-pound title. But nothing makes sense, you know, but I offered. So you don't get no credit for offering, especially if the fight's already booked. If it doesn't make any sense, that's like Conor McGregor saying, I'll fucking go up and fight Stipe next. I'm not scared of nobody. I'll fucking whoop Stipe, you know, next. It's like, you can say that, but if it doesn't happen, you know, you can say whatever you want. You know, it just doesn't seem realistic. Like Max Holloway saying he can get his leg amputated and drop 30 pounds and fight Demetrius Johnson. Yeah, you sound like a warrior, but it's not realistic, so you're just throwing that out there, and it's not even going to happen. And that kind of seems from Dana White's response. You know, the fight was already made with Ortega. There was only 24 days. You don't fight at that weight class, so it just doesn't even make sense for Conor to fight Frankie. The only reason that, you know, people are running with this is because back in the day, Frankie and Conor, a lot of people wanted to see that fight, but it never happened. But at the same time, with the results of this fight, Brian Ortega versus Frankie Edgar, first time Frankie Edgar was finished, let alone knocked out. You know, a lot of people say, man, if Brian Ortega can knock out Frankie, Conor probably could. That's what a lot of people are still saying. But with that being said, it is what it is, man. Dana White confirmed Conor McGregor did try to fight Frankie on short notice, but it just didn't make any sense. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.